Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Chad here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today, we've got another top 5 guns video for you, but in today's video, we're going to be diving into weapons lights. Okay, so taking a slight departure from a normal 5 guns video, and we've been known to do this. You're going to see some departures in future videos, and I think you're really going to enjoy the direction that we go. So, we've done a few flashlight reviews over the years and gotten into looking at some of these different flashlights. We're going to look at some stuff that we've been messing with over the years, and we've got various flashlights set up on these different firearms that we have in front of us here. And I went over on Big Daddy Unlimited and found some killer deals on some of these lights. Some that I've really been wanting to take a look at, some that I've never heard of before, and we wanted to get some of them out and run them and check them out. But this, I believe, video will really cover a wide range of different price points and features, and maybe you guys will come away from this learning a thing or two about some of these lights. There's some really cool options out there.
Mm-hmm. There absolutely is, and some of these lights are a little bit more expensive than others, so we've got kind of a wide range of price points here because, I mean, everybody's budget's different. So where do you want to start with?
Let's start with the Inforce here on the end. Now, I printed out some cheat sheets because there's a lot of specs here to remember, and we want to make sure we're not putting out bad information. So this is my little ad core setup. This has got the LMT piston upper on it. This particular one's got an Atlas bipod. This one's wearing a M4 2000 suppressor and an Inforce weapons light. Now, we did a video on this exact light, and this is the 2 battery model. They also have one that takes a single CR123 that's pretty small. With the can on there, it does obscure a little bit of the actual throw of the light, but I do like this particular light quite a bit. The mounting system's pretty clever. Okay, and they do have a version of this light that you can switch between IR and white. This is a white light only model. It does retain the switch, but it doesn't do anything.
Now the switch is like a lockout, or no, the lockout's here on the back. Yeah,
lockout is that little switch. It's a little lever. You just pop it up, and it's just very intuitive and simple. You know what I mean? And it makes sense. I like the mounting system. This is a 2 battery version, which gives us 800 lumens of output. And, of course, a screaming deal that I got on this thing.
Dude, they are a very, very good price. I mean, the Inforce lights are a good value overall. One of the first weapon lights that I ever purchased was the single cell, kind of the OG Inforce. And the limitation that the Inforce lights have is that they are pick mount only, so they only mount to a Picatinny rail. You don't have that option of getting them really, really close and like offset to the rail like you can with some of the other weapon lights that we'll talk about here in a little while. But I mean, overall, they are a fantastic value.
And the person that actually turned me on to these lights was Chad, and then I also saw Tim Harmson post some stuff from forever ago. Mac had a couple on a few of his guns, and I was thinking, oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't think anything of it. It sort of fell into obscurity in my mind, and then when I got to look around Big Daddy, I was like, holy crap, that is a fantastic deal, like a really good bargain. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to pick one of these up and play with it. And I've been shooting this light for about a year now, and it's holding up pretty good.
I've had mine for a long time, several years, probably at least 5 years or so. I haven't used it on a rifle in a good minute, though, but it still just kind of hangs out as a backup.
Yeah. So. And I think they represent a really good value. And, they are polymer construction, so it's not an aluminum-bodied flashlight. That may or may not be a problem for some people. The mounting system, I've heard some people kind of say, oh, the mounting system's not any good. But it actually is. I mean, these things can hold up to a lot of abuse. And
I've seen some people beat up on them, and they last, and they hold up pretty well. So.
Oh, yeah, and 800 lumens of output. It's not like a stupid level of output that's annoying, but not so low like we're going to get into this next one. All right, so now this light, this one, I wasn't really sure about this one, but once I got it in, it was really cool. Now, we've done a video on the Keltec KS7. It may or may not be up at this point just yet, but I finally was able to score a Keltec KS7, and I wanted a compact weapons light that would lay up really, really close to the rail. Now, unfortunately, the way that I've got this shotgun set up, the rail is not super long, so there's not a ton of real estate for this light to grab onto. It literally just kind of flexes on there. It's like a rubberized housing. And this is a new light from LaserMax. It hasn't been out that long, but one of the coolest features of it, let me look up the exact lumens on this light. Only like an 80 or 100 lumen output. It's an extremely low output on the light itself, and it's rechargeable. It's got a rechargeable battery in there, and the color of the light is green. So if you're clearing a house or in a close quarter situation and you accidentally hit a bright object that's highly reflective or a mirror or something, it doesn't blow your eyeballs out. So it's just good enough to like search through a home or something like that, or close in, but not an annoyingly bright light. Okay, and it's rechargeable, which is kind of cool.
The thing is, I mean, we shot some pretty robust loads through that shotgun, and it's a super lightweight gun. So, I mean, the light held up through that abuse, and it stayed on the rail, so it never fell off. I mean, it got a little squishy a couple of times with some of those, like, black magic, or the Berniki, what are the Black Magics? The ones with the bear on the box?
Yeah, the bear on the box.
But, I mean, I like the rubberized coating on it, you know, the housing and everything. It seems like it'd be pretty drop safe and everything like that. But, I mean, time will tell. But, overall, it's a cool light.
And reasonably priced.
Oh, yeah.
Like on Big Daddy, literally like $80. I went through there because I wanted to put together a video kind of, you know, like this to show off some cool weapons light and to show you some things that maybe you didn't know if it existed or not, right? So I'm thinking, okay, what can I get that's like in that really reasonable price point? So that's really what I wanted to go for with this. And then I thought, okay, low output, so not like a super high output. It's not a search and destroy 200-meter throw light. It's a home defense minded weapons light that is low profile. Now I will admit, the profile was a little higher than I thought it would be. The photos made it look like it was really, really, really skinny on the rail. It does protrude a bit, but it held up to the recoil of the 12 gauge, even with the handicap of having a slightly shorter rail that I put on there. All right, you know, the Kel-Tec KF7 has M-LOK accessory slots all around it. So I've got a little short section of M-LOK rail holding up just fine. You've got this little dongle here. You just pull it out and you can plug it in and recharge it. I will say, when you're using the gun itself and the light itself, this little plastic grommet that keeps the charging port plugged, it doesn't stay put. It just flops around. So you could get dirt in there. I would just say if you're running this thing out in a hunting situation or if you're out in the field, probably want to take an air nozzle and just make sure that that doesn't get clogged up with anything. Keep it clean. That's just one observation. All right, we're going to move down the line. Now, this is an older Surefire unit of mine that I've had for a good minute. I bought this light back when I was still working at Moss, and I want to say it was like $160.
It was pretty cheap. I mean, it's been at least 4 or 5 years since you bought that light.
Yeah, this is an older 952, and this is a considerably lower output light than what you may see in a modern Surefire or like the light you're going to see on Chad's AR here in a moment. But this particular one has the older KM3 bezel. This one's sitting in an M93 quick release mount. Okay, and this one has the capability to go between white and IR light. So this is handy if you're using night vision and you want to switch the bezel over to IR. It'll be invisible light, of course, to the human eye. But when you're wearing night vision, it can just help a little bit more in your searching with night vision devices.
Especially on nights where you've got cloud cover or you've got like a new moon or something like that. So you're just kind of going by starlight. A little bit of illumination really, really helps when you're out hunting at night. Right.
Now, a few things that this light loses points on.
Bulky.
It's bulky?
Yeah.
What else?
Well, you're limited to the pick mount again. So you don't really have any way of offsetting it. One of the pros, though, is that the tail cap does have dual function. You've got a tail cap switch, and then you can also plug in a rail-mounted or a pressure switch or something along those lines as well. So you have that capability there already set up on the unit, ready to go, without having to spend extra money on an accessory. So
I would say another plus on this light is that even if you do find, an older 952 out in the wild, you can upgrade the tail switch and the bezel to all the newest components. I don't think this one has the incandescent.
No, that one's actually the...
Is that an LED?
Yeah, that's the LED.
All right, so it's new enough to be an LED. But if you do have an incandescent light, you can get the LED bezel, and that gives you a little bit clearer,
Now,
light.
don't tell those clone builders that, because they want the original, like, OG to make it read.
350 lumens of output for 2.5 hours. Runtime in infrared is 16 hours. So I guess the infrared uses considerably less
Oh,
battery.
yeah, it's low power.
Right, and then of course the tail switch compatibility. I do have a tail switch for this unit. It's just not installed on this AK. And I would like to mention also, I know we're talking about flashlights, but I've got the wonderful RS Regulate low profile mount with the Comp M5. This is one killer AK.
is awesome.
This AK is awesome. This
and that one's in 545, right?
This is a 545 by 39. And of course, we got a rigged up PPSH sling. Boy, she's ready. Got it Polish barrel folding stock. Like, that's the tits.
With a custom, is that Alumahide or is that just Krylon?
This is Brownell's Alumahide that I sprayed on this. So.
Very cool.
Yeah, man. Scott's a good dude over at RS Regulate. Great mounts. If you're serious about AKs, he's your man.
All right, since we're on the topic of Surefire, okay, we're going to talk about kind of the highest price light on the table.
Go ahead.
But we were looking up the prices of the Surefires on Big Daddy earlier, and I was very, very surprised on the deals that can be had over there on these flashlights. But this is an M600, okay, and I've had this light for a number of years, and I like the Surefires, the more modern ones, because the bodies are very, very small. They are all aluminum. And you can get the low-profile mounts from like Arasaka or BCM. Some other companies make Keymod and M-Lock compatible offset mounts, which place the light at a 45-degree offset tucked up against the rail. So everything is nice and tight and compact.
You're sort of using that space in there
a little
more readily instead of it, being offset.
And everything is kind of there. Like you still got, access to your backup sights and things like that. It doesn't really crowd that area. Now this light is a 2 CR123 cell, so it's 1,000 lumens of output. So it's rather bright. It's a nice white light. It has a kind of a hot spot in the center, but it has a good throw all around it. I mainly keep this thing on this rig because it's kind of a road rig. I mean, if I ever had to use it outside of the vehicle at night or like outside of the house, that's kind of why I have this high-powered light on there. It's not really meant for inside because the light is bright. I mean, let's face it, 1,000 lumens is a little bit of overkill for inside the house. But overall, the lights are great. The downside is the price because you get the light and it just has a standard tail switch on it. If you want to upgrade to like the dual function pressure switch, that's a rail mounted deal. These things are like $90 retail.
So you're talking another $90 for the pressure switch, and then the Arasaka mount is probably another $60.
These are like they're like $45.
Yeah.
The BCMs are about, I think the BCMs are like $30 on Big Daddy.
There you go.
And they have the function of mounting to the larger lights as well. They have 3 holes on them for the bolts, so you have the capability of running the small Scout lights and the larger ones as well.
Arasaka, they're the company that makes those scope leveling tools. Is it the same company?
The little wedge tools.
Yeah, the little wedge. It helps us. Yeah, those are really handy for mounting your optics and stuff.
They are. But this is a higher priced light. The bezels can be interchanged. The reason that I'm kind of a Surefire guy is because I used to have a lot of old Streamlights, and I used to carry Streamlights all the time, and the switches would just go bad on me. And I decided to switch to Surefire, and I've lost Surefires out in the field and stuff. They've been flooded with water for months and months on end. The flashlight stayed under there, it got hit by a lawnmower, and the thing's still ticking. And it's just a testament to the quality of those lights. Nothing really bad about, or a Streamlight or any of the other brands, but I just always had a special place in my heart for these lights.
Surefire certainly does seem to be the industry standard in terms of a rugged weapons light. And they certainly are rugged. They are associated with a certain price point.
Not to say that they can't fail, because everything can fail at some point or another, but I've had nothing but good results out of these lights over the years, and I test them all the time. Constantly testing the pressure switches, making sure things are good to go, keeping batteries fresh. They suck batteries pretty well, okay, especially when you're talking about a single output light. So you just got to keep on them batteries.
I remember when we found your backup.
Oh, yeah.
It got ran over by the lawnmower, and it was in a puddle of water this deep.
For like 4 months.
Yeah, for 4 months, and I'm thinking, this light is screwed. Turn right on.
Yep.
It's amazing just how good they hold up.
But they do cost. You do pay for them.
They do cost. They do cost. So this video doesn't really have a wild card. We're really not going in a specific order here. We're just kind of jumping around. So let's talk about pistol lights. Now, we've done a bit of work on various pistol lights, but this Olight Baldor Pro is a really cool setup because you get the laser compatibility along with white light, and it is a green laser. We have a full video on this particular light if you want to check it out, but I do have some basic specs here. Now, it is a 1350 lumen output light. So super, super, super high output.
Now, it doesn't hold that output for the entire runtime. It's got a short runtime at that high output, and then it drops down to a reasonable output for a good long while, and it's rechargeable.
That's correct. So it's not like just, it hits a brick wall and then it's dead. It is a slightly reduced output for a period of time here. Really cool stuff there. Yeah, let's see. 115 minutes laser. So, yeah, you're talking almost 2 hours of runtime with the laser on. So that's pretty good. I guess that's laser only. But really cool. We have done a video on this particular light, and I already had it mounted up on this pistol. I mean, it's a heck of a lot of output, but it's a really, really cool light. And they're priced very, very reasonably.
Well, the pistol-mounted Olights have come a long way since their inception a few years back. I mean, they've really, really improved the mounting system a good bit. Everything's much more rugged, and we've beat the living piss out of these lights, and they still hold up. I mean, the only thing that can kill them was like what, the wood splitter, the tractor.
We had to put them in a log splitter and chop it in half. But they hold up pretty good, and it's a light that can fit within a working man's budget.
Absolutely.
And within a limited budget, and still provide a lot of functionality. And not maybe this particular light, but many Olights also have a lot of recharging capabilities, which is super handy. You're not going through as many batteries. I mean, well, any batteries, as long as you remember to keep it charged. And I like the recharging function. So I feel like they've integrated a lot of technologies into weapons lights that other manufacturers are kind of, trying to play catch up.
Yeah. You've seen a lot of Surefires and Streamlights coming out recently that have that rechargeable capability to them.
Right. And they didn't really seem to be a thing until these lights started coming out. So, look, competition does yield innovation. And innovation yields competition. So I think it only winds up being good for the consumer in the end when all of these companies are trying to come out with the absolute best thing to keep up with the Joneses. It's only going to equate to better products for the consumer.
More options, better products,
Yeah.
So definitely.
All right, now this is the light that really on this table really impressed me the most. Okay, I ordered one of these up. Now this is Brandy's Scar 16. I'll let you hold it and I'll talk a little bit as while you manipulate it.
I don't really play with this.
Yeah, go ahead and manipulate it some. All right, so this is the Streamlight ProTac, and this is a 2-battery flashlight. And I got this one. It's like $90, and you get the mount, the light, and the pressure pad and everything. Okay, you've got a high strobe, high only, on and off. So momentary and constant off, or constant on or off, I guess, depending on what you want. I didn't happen to see the lumens here. I printed out the specs, and I didn't even include the amount of lumens of output.
It's got all the lumens.
That's at least 1,000 lumens of output.
Yeah, I mean, that's at least as bright as the M600 there.
Now, so again, where this maybe loses some points is just like my older Surefire 952, it is a little high profile. The set screw that locks down on the rail is nice and solid. And they give you an on-off cap as well. So if you want to run it with just a standard on-off pressure switch, a clicker, you can do that as well. And then the way that the pressure pad actually mounts on the rail is pretty intuitive. It just has a pair of rubberized, rail section adapters, and they interface with the rear and front of the pressure pad and locks it on there pretty dang tight. And then you've got a hard stop button up front that clicks on and off, and then a momentary double click to strobe.
All right, so let's just put it this way. So for the price of the Surefire dual-mounted switch, you can get everything you see here.
Yeah. Now, time will tell as to how well these things hold up, but dude, for the money, and especially like the price that I got this thing for, like on Big Daddy, is like $90.
Yeah. So don't quote me on this, but the mounting system here with this little pick mount looks to be the same spacing as what I have on the Scout over here. So I would imagine that you can utilize the same like Arasaka, BCM, those M-LOK offset mounts and things like that to get this thing tucked up against the rail a little bit more. Now, if this was my setup, I would prefer the pressure switch to be on top because I kind of like that C grip, so I can run the pressure switch with my thumb up top. That would just be me. But I mean, awesome package if it holds up.
They give you tools, and they give you all the mounts and everything. They give you all the little zip ties and
adhesive.
Yeah, they give you the adhesive if you want to like mount it, on the side of your receiver or something. So just the thing is like a lot of full functionality and features, but for like less than $100.
Streamlight has been a market leader in value-minded lights that are still very, very high quality. Like I said, the only thing I ever had a problem with out of Surefire was just switches, but that was on like EDC lights that I carried every single day and used every day.
Yeah, a lot of actuations on them.
They'd last about a year.
Are they pretty good about like sending you a replacement or something?
You can send the lights in, they'll replace the switches and things like that. They have full like warranty on all their products and everything like that, so no problems there. But But, you know, the newer lights, I haven't had any experience with the newer stuff, so they may have redesigned the switches, made them more robust. But that was the only thing that I ever had a problem with out of the Streamlights. But, god dang, the value is there.
It sure is. I mean, and look, I'll mention one more light that I don't have on the table here, but I feel like they really deserve an honorable mention. When we were at SHOT Show this year, I didn't have a ton of time. I was kind of passing through, but I stopped by Cloud Defense, and I was checking out some of the Cloud Defense lights. And I was really impressed at like the low profile. The switch seems really robust on them, and they just seem like just a really cool light.
And everything's kind of like an all-in-one unit.
Yeah,
too.
it's all in one unit. It almost reminds me of like a D-ball, but it's just a really great flashlight.
So the new thing that Cloud
they are expensive.
They are. They're like, you know, around the $300 mark just for the light.
So you're getting into Surefire territory.
Yeah, but they do have. If you haven't seen the Cloud Defense lights, what they do is they mount on the top of the rail, and it puts the light in an offset position. And it's a large light. It's heavy, you know, heavy on the output, but the switch is all integrated and everything, and it's got a quick attach, I think, system for the rail. The thing that they had out this year at SHOT that I saw passing by was a special AR rail that had like a little low profile cutout on the Picatinny, so the light would actually sit lower in the rail and not obscure anything that you might have on top or sides and things like that. So it's even more low profile now.
There's a ton of stuff out there, and I hope that this video sort of encourages some of you guys to check out some of the things that are out there. This is a pretty solid representative example of not only the different types of weapons lights, because we tried to represent a wide variety of different things here, right? You've got things that have, you know, different pressure switches, and, you know, this one has an integrated laser, you know, a different price point and different feature set for just about everybody on this table.
Well, and two, these are lights that we've used for a number of years and things that we're testing out currently. So, you know, you guys will see updates on some of these lights moving forward. You'll probably see them wind up in other videos. So we use this gear, I mean, on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah. But definitely want to take a moment to thank you guys for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. And this is a slight departure from what you expect out of a 5 guns, but expect more. We're going to be looking at accessories and cool stuff, so we hope you'll join us for those. And I definitely want to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I tried to tell you thank you in every single video. Those of you who purchase man cans, thank you so much for supporting our efforts and allowing us to put videos like these together. And also, folks who purchase t-shirts, okay, over on Ballistic Ink.
We got the Russian oil change, and then we've got Artillery, the Hun.
Yeah, so we have many, many shirts, okay, and that's a great way to support your favorite content creators over on Ballistic Ink. So go check it out, pick up a shirt, and thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to share this video, like, subscribe, comment below. Is there a favorite weapons light of yours that we forgot to include in this lineup? Let me know, and maybe we'll revisit this video with another 5 weapons lights that you guys picked. So let us know what you want to see, and we'll try to do our best to show it all for you. So thank you guys so much for watching today. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time. Many more videos on the way.
See you guys.